Welcome to Stockholm, Sweden. My name is Tobias Pettersson and I'm a spokesperson for Perspektiv på Israel, Perspective on Israel. We are a pro-Israel NGO working in Sweden. And the documentary you're about to see is a documentary that we made in Israel. It's made by Israelis and it gives you new positive perspectives on Israel from the minorities and people who work with minorities within Israel. I hope you will enjoy this. So I'm sitting here with Atzmon Yahav, and you are from Im Tirzu. Could you tell us about what Im Tirzu is?
Im Tirzu, it's a Zionist movement that wanted to rebuild the passion of the Israelis, the Jews, for Zionism, to build this country and to do whatever Zionism mean.
And what does Zionism mean for you? What is it?
The Zionism mean return to this, to our ancient country, and to rebuild our people like a free nation, like any other nation, and to build ourselves, to make future for our children, for our nation, for the Jewish people. Zionism, it means to live as any other nation, and with all other people that live among us, that want to live with us in peace. This is what Zionism for me.
And you have a special project in Tirzu that you are running. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. Well, my personal point of view, and a very important thing in my movement, Im Tirzu, is to cooperate with minorities in Israel, to make them, to make sure they see Israel as their home, just as we see Israel our home. To make sure they will have the equal rights they should have, especially if they do the equals duties of civil service in the army. If people make their duty for the country, we believe they should have equal rights, and we think even maybe they should have some even more benefits for they willing to cooperate with this country. So we are in Im Tirzu try to get close between Jewish population in Israel and the others, to get them close together, to know each other, to cooperate together, to help each other. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
I come from a country in Europe, Sweden, that has 68% of the population being anti-Israel. What would you like to say to the Swedish people if you had a chance to say something?
Well, more than all, I wanted them to learn more, because I think people judge Israel unfair because Israel have succeeded. Israel have succeeded from the place that it was a helpless state, new state that have almost nothing, to Western country, Western society that has almost anything. And they judge Israel from this point of view, like they see themselves in Europe as a very they are secure. They have everything. No one threatens them, and they should learn more about Israel. They should learn about the way Israel treat minorities when those minorities not threaten its existence, and when those minorities are not threatening the existence, they have full rights like any other civilian in Israel, any Jews, any others. It doesn't matter. When the differences inside Israel between Jews and others are not exist inside Israel. There is no differences. The only difference is by having the Israeli citizenship. Jews can have citizenship because they are Jews if they come in from outside to Israel, because Israel is supposed to be the home for the Jewish people. And we are here in Israel, we want our people to come here to Israel to build themselves together with us and together with those minorities who live in Israel. But behind that, here in Israel, we are equal. We are equal, and we have the same rights, we have the same duties, and when we do that, there is no differences if you are Jewish and if you are another. And the problem is, I think that they misjudge us in Europe, and they are very wrong about us. They should learn more. They should learn more.
So, finally, what are you most proud of about Israel?
What I'm most proud of, it's the treatment to minorities.
Okay.
And you can find among those minorities, you can find every minority you can think of. All the minorities that was impressed before the Zionism, before the Jewish state, Druze, Samarians, and Cherkess. Many minorities was here under the Islam. They have miserable life. They have difficult times, and no wonder when the Jewish state Israel established, they became part of this state. They are serving in the security forces. They are part of us. All those minorities, and and I'm proud of the relationship that this state have with her minorities, and including to those minorities you can include the homosexual community. Here in Israel we accept everyone. It doesn't matter if you are a Jew, if you are Muslim, if you are Christian, if you are atheist. You can be whatever you want. You be treated equal to others. The only thing that make differences, it's the decision of those people. If someone decide to cooperate with the country, to be part of this community, to be part of this success, he will be part of this success. But when others think that they don't like this state, they don't want to cooperate, they don't want to do some things, they take themselves outside of the success of the good life that we have here in Israel by their own decisions. So I'm proud of Israel by her treatment to minorities.
Thank you very much for this interview.
You're welcome.
We are actually in a very specific place with Mohammed Swabi. Could you tell us more about where we are?
Hello, we're sitting right here in Nazareth, Israel's largest Arab city.
How do you define yourself living in Israel as a minority?
I identify myself as an Israeli, Zionist, Arab, Muslim. I'm an Israeli. I was born in this country, so I belong to this country. you're Swedish, so you were born in Sweden and you're Swedish. So I'm an Israeli. I was born in this country, Israel. I have no other country, you know. Not yeah, I identify myself as an Israeli Zionist. I identify myself as a Zionist because I simply believe that it's the Jewish people's right to have a state of their own and a democratic state of their own. And I'm an Arab because my mother language, one of my mother languages is Arabic, and my background is Arab, and I'm not denying that. And Muslim, my religion is Islam, and for me, like why I identify myself as Muslim, like in the last, you know, it's because it's simply because religion for me is the least important thing, you know. The most important thing for me is, first of all, to be a human being. I don't hate anyone. So as most of Israelis, we're not educated to hate, as our neighbors are educated to hate us. And yes, I respect the places that I was born in. I was born in Israel, and I'm an Israeli, and I'm proud about that.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you're doing here.
So, as you know, my name is Jonathan. I'm 22 years old. I'm now staying at a place in Akko, at the old city of Akko. It's called the Ayalim Association. It's a couple of boys that finished army. They wanted to make an association for students and for people that encourages settlements in the Negev and the Galil in Israel. There is a place here in Akko. We're around 20 students and 8 Shinshinim, that is a Prost army guys that want to contribute more to the country of Israel and to their homeland. Well, at the beginning it's hard because you are a minority. You're a very small number of group. You don't have anyone up there to help you from your group, so they sometimes don't really know your needs. You don't know the language at the beginning. When we first came here, we didn't know any word in Hebrew. It was hard. We studied hard in order to be part of the Israeli society. And the Israeli government did help us. They did give us some sort of money so we could go and find houses and live a normal life. They tried to find us jobs. They tried everything in order to us to make a good life. They came to Israel at May 2000 when Israel decided to go out of Lebanon. The Lebanese that are living here, they used to be in the SLA, the South Lebanon Army. It was an army that was established by the help of Israel in South Lebanon in order to help the Israel army and the Lebanese people that was living in the villages in South Lebanon against the terrorist organizations that was trying to destroy and kill the Christians in South Lebanon. Yeah, that's the reason that we are in Israel, because we were afraid for our lives in Lebanon because they threatened us and they tried to kill us. Now we are around 500 families. At the beginning, there were more than 2,000, but many of them get back to Lebanon because they were afraid of the change. They didn't know a language. They don't have any education because they were at the army all their lives. So they came back to Lebanon. What Israel means to me? Well, Israel is everything for me. It's my state, it's my country, it's my home. I'm gonna have my future here. I'm gonna live all my life for this country. And I'm gonna be supportive.
Okay, I'm Kevork. My dad is Armenian. and my mom is Christian Arab. Okay, and I'm 23 years old, and I live in Akko.
You study?
I study music and education.
Okay. And who do you have next to you?
This is Simone, my girlfriend.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I'm Simone. I study educational theater, and I am Jewish.
Hi, my name is Yahya. I'm an Israeli citizen. I live in Al-Fakhem. I truly support it because there is nothing wrong with Israel being as a Jewish state. Jews have the right to have their own motherland, you know. So I don't have a problem with it, no. And living in Israel as a Jewish state, I consider myself an atheist and see no problem with living in Israel, you know. There's no problem.
If any religion, homotheistic religion, is based on one God, then obviously the Torah, the Quran, and the Christian Bible is based on. Sorry, my cat is based on the first people being here, the Jewish people, and every city is called in a Jewish name, and Jerusalem was built bought by Abraham and built by David the king. So
That is a right for the Jewish people. So, and as long as Israel being a Jewish state won't damage me, I have no problem with that. And that's the reality now in Israel. All Israelis are equal. Jews and Arabs and Muslims and Christians, we are all Israeli and we are all equal. So I really think that Israel has the right to be a Jewish and a democratic state.
I don't know what will be the difference if it will be democratic states and not Jewish. I think it will still the same because there is more Jewish people here and כאילו אנשים שבמעמד גבוה הם כאילו יהודים. כאילו שזה מקום, כאילו שזה מדינה שבנו אותה יהודים והם נמצאים במעמד.
Okay, the country itself were built by Jewish people.
Okay.
Because before there weren't a lot of roads or institutes or anything like that.
So you can't say it's not a Jewish country. So
yeah.
And about democratic, so I think there is a democratic, but it's democracy, and but if you will start to to look for racism, you will find it. And you will find it against Jews and against Arabs. Like if you will look for it, you will find it. That's sure. And I think you will find more against Jews. If we are talking about the Arab people, so I think they should look at the Arab countries and make the comparing.
The comparison.
The comparison.
And what would they find if they look?
Because they can't say we want to live like I don't know. No, they can't say we want to live like America, like Europe, and they want an Arabic country. Because there is a lot of dogmot.
There's a lot of examples.
A lot of examples.
Bad examples.
And.
But if we looked at the Arab world, would you say in general there is more racism in the Arab world, in the Arab state surrounding Israel?
They have a racism like one in like between themselves. They are finding things like groups and
like the Shia
and Sunni and Christians and Muslims and when they fight between each other, it's more
it's very violent.
Very violent. If their goal is to have their own country, I don't think it will be like better from this country for themselves. I'm support not to have an Arabic country here, and I'm not against the Jewish state.
Okay.
I didn't say I'm against it.
So then, if you're not against it, then are you supporting it?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I'm supporting it.
So what do you have to say to those who claim that you are a Palestinian?
Actually, like I don't. What is Palestinian? Like, what are the origins of these people? Where they came from? The Palestinians today are a mix of Arabs who came from all over the Middle East. Arabs have always immigrated. We come from Saudi Arabia, today Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia used to be called the Arabian Peninsula, the Arab Peninsula. The most important thing that people must understand is that Arabs came here after Jews have been here for thousands of years. And Palestine, what is the name? The name Palestine, it is not even a word in Arabic. It's a Roman or a Greek word. The name Palestine was given to the land of Israel after the Romans occupied the land of Israel and made a massacre against the Jewish people. So the name Palestine is simply, we can understand that it is a political agenda. It's nothing more than the Romans weren't interested that the Jews the Romans knew that someday the Jews will come back to their homeland, so they were interested to try to stop them somehow. So they changed the name of their homeland, and they allowed peoples from surrounding places to immigrate to the land of Israel. So Palestine is a political agenda. It's not a country. It's not a nation. Palestine has never existed, and I doubt that Palestine would ever exist. Our Knesset members, like Khanin Zoabi, Ahmad Tibi, and all these Arab Knesset members, they are using the democratic system of Israel to work against Israel. Like Khanin Zoabi tried to go to Gaza, and she was on a ship that is going to a hostile area. And after a few hours, after a few days, she came to our parliament. She's sitting right now in our parliament. She claims that she is represented us. She is represented the Palestinians, but she doesn't. What is really confusing me that is like, isn't she understanding that Israeli Arabs are not Palestinians? We are not Palestinians. We are Arabs who were born in Israel, so we are Israelis. The same as Arab born in Syria, the same as Arabs born in Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, So I think that the problem, the democratic system of Israel is unfortunately being abused by those Israelis who are anti-Israel, and I really think that it is part of our country's, our government's duty to stop these people, because they are damaging the image of Israel, and they are lying and damaging the image of Israel. They're not damaging the image of Israel by saying the truth, by telling the truth. No, they are damaging our image in the world by lies, by saying lies.
If you would say I'm Palestinian,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm Palestinian.
In your family, did somebody ever call themselves a Palestinian?
In my family, no.
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 Wow. It's a small word. It's a small word, but it has a big definition, and it has a big place in my world. Some people prefer to use this word as a curse. Some people use it to say about the Zionists that they are bad, that they're killing people, and I use it as the love to the state of Israel. I'm a Zionist because I believe that the Jews should have this land, the land of Israel, as their own. It should stay a Jew country. And that's what the word means for me. It's the Jew land, but it doesn't mean that there's no other people here. There are Christians, there are Muslims, there are Buddhists, there are Bedouins, there's Druze. You can find here from anything, from the Philippines, from the Sudan, from every place you want in the world, you can find here people. And not all of them are Zionists. Many of them are pro-Palestinians, and they're living here because Israel is a democratic place. It accepts everyone, although it's not. Although the people that are against Israel is saying that Israel shouldn't be here and shouldn't be for the Jews.
You know, once I remember that I had in the sixth grade, I was a kid, you know, and who drawn his country's map. I drew my country's flag, sorry, and I just put it on my table, and a teacher of mine came and told me I was 11 years old or 12 years old. She told a 12 years old kid that you should be ashamed of yourself. This flag doesn't represent you, it represents the Zionists. And simply what she was trying to say is that supporting the Jewish people and supporting Zionism is a crime. That's why also for a lot of Arabs, Zionism is something terrible. And even for me, even that from the day I remember, I remember always that I've felt that I belong to this country, but I, in the beginning, I had this I was kind of I didn't get along with Zionism because I was brainwashed, unfortunately, and they succeeded in brainwashing me. I was brainwashed that Zionism is something bad, and I used to think that in the future, I used to plan that in the future, I will create an Israeli country without Zionism, you know. But then I started to explore, and I started to understand that Zionism is simply what Israel today. Israel is a Jewish and a democratic country, and that's what Zionism wants, and that's what Zionism always wanted.
I'm originally from the States, so I was born there, and I came here when I was 7 years old with my family. I made Aliyah. And when I was 19, I went back. I study in a college, and I have more Arabic people in my college than Jews. And I have friends that are Arabic people, although they have very different opinions than I do, and it's very difficult for me that because they do not believe that I should be here, but they think that they should be here. And it's difficult for me as a Jewish person to live here because always I feel like this black plague on me saying you shouldn't be here, you're not allowed to be here, we're only allowed to be here, and it's it's in an aggressive way. I am part of a Zionist organization. I am putting a line under that that works with Muslim children in the old city of Akko, and we are the only place for these children to have aftercare for free. So this Jewish students work with the Arabic children and help them with homework, social activities and games and stuff like that, and they love it. And it's just to show that the Jewish people aren't that evil, and I am cynical a little bit because usually that's how I feel that people see it. And myself, that's my volunteering job, and my work is I am in it's called the Alternative Center, and it's a camp in the summer, and during the year it's a family center for Jews and Arabs to coexist together and have social meetings.
If you believe that Israel is an apartheid state, then I simply think that you are stupid, because you have never obviously came to Israel and saw our streets, our streets filled with Arabs and Jews and Christians walking along with each other. So there is no apartheid here.
If Israel was an apartheid state, we can't speak to each other. You can't come here. We can't live all around together, Jews Christians, Muslims. We can't be at the same places. We can't be at the same room together. But we are more than that. We live together. I'm here living in an organization with Christians, Muslims, and Jews from all over the country. And it's just ridiculous that people think that it's an apartheid state. They don't come here. They don't see what I see.
Well, you know what? We're sitting here in a restaurant, in a mall that has Muslims and Jewish and Christian shoppers. We can simply take a picture for them. We can tape the area for them, and they. That's my answer. I have no other answer because first of all, saying that Israel is an apartheid state is an insult for people who have suffered from apartheid, which are the people of South Africa, the black people of South Africa, and also I think like it's really stupid. It's like it shows how miserable anti-Israelis are. We are just being brainwashed that Israel is not democratic. Ask an Arab now, ask an Israeli Arab, and tell him, do you think that you are discriminated in Israel? There are big chances that he would say yes. But if you would ask him how, he would probably say, I don't know. I was just told that we are discriminated against, you know?
You're also a strong supporter of that Arab Israelis are going to the army. Why is that?
Well, because first of all, I definitely think that as citizens who live in this country, and as people who are receiving a lot of benefits from the country, and a lot of our neighbors are not receiving what we are receiving, and also a lot of European nations even are not receiving what Israelis receive. So I think as a citizen who is receiving a lot of benefits, healthcare, wealth, all these things, I think that I should give something back for the country, you know. I should, first of all, the most important thing, I should love my country, and also I should do something for our country. And going to the army is part of our culture. Most Israelis do go to the army someday. So I think if we want to feel how does it really feels to be an Israeli, and how does it really feels to fight for your country and to love your country, we should serve in the army. And that's why I'm a big supporter of getting Israeli Arabs into the army. And I hope someday, if I'll be in the Knesset, I will work hard to achieve that goal of forcing Israeli Arabs to go to the army. Because if we wanna have full rights, it is not realistic to have only to get rights and not to give something as like an appreciation, you know.
I fully support Arabs going to the IDF. I mean, they should protect the land that they are living on. And they should give Israel a little bit back. And, Israel gives us Arabs a lot, and a lot of things. So we have to give a little bit of return. I would hope to be a pilot.
Personally, do you support Arabs and Christians joining the IDF?
If I'm supporting?
Yeah, do you support the idea of Arabs and Christians in Israel to participate in the defense of the country?
Yeah.
What benefits do you think the Israeli society has from it, and in the Arabs?
I'm just explaining. גם נוצרים, גם ערבים, גם יהודים, כולם יעשו צבא ביחד והשתתפו בביטחון המדינה. איזה הטובה יש את זה כאשר כולם עושים ביחד את זה, עוברים טירונות ביחד ובונים קשרים ביחד?
זה חלק מפתרון הבעיה של מלחמה וגזענות.
להסביר את זה? כן. Okay. So he thinks that is the answer. If they do go and do it together at the army, that is the answer against racism and division of different societies in Israel. If everybody goes to one cause together.
Right. So, Simon, you have been in the army, in the IDF.
Yeah.
Can you tell me something about that? And have you met Arabs in the army?
Yes, in my base where I was serving, and everyday life. Yes, there's also Christians that go to the army. Not a lot, but there are more and more today, and that's really nice and great that they're doing that. There's also Muslims, some. There's also the Druze society. They all go to the army, and they're the best army people usually. So yeah, there were, and I had friends that they were Muslim even in my base, and Christians, and so it was nice. I didn't feel that they're different than me in any way, because I feel that if you volunteer and participate, doesn't matter what your race is, as a citizen of the state, then you're welcome to be here and live here as anybody else.
How can I not be proud of my country? I'm proud of our society, our democratic society, our open-minded society. We accept everyone. Homosexuals have rights. Women has rights. And we are not brainwashed to hate, as our neighbors are brainwashed to hate us.
I think I'm proud of like the Israelis, like they like music and jamming, and like every second person is playing few chords on the guitar, and it's always like one of the things that they like they do it like for fun. And I'm proud of the Mediterranean food that we have here from all over the
region.
I think we have a very good food.
I'm really proud about the medicine here and the technology, the developing all kinds of startups that the Israelis are innovating and taking out to the world to have and share. I'm happy about the food as well, and that the people here are really warm people. Very, very nice, but on the other hand, they can be very hot-minded. But you know, it reminds me of Italy because I traveled there, and it's very similar. And I am happy that everybody can practice their religion here, even if they're Christians, Muslim, or Jewish, and they don't need to run away to any other country. Because if it was really bad over here, I think that people would leave. Especially the Arab Muslims, they would leave, but they don't leave because I think that they're happy here.
You should come here. You should see the life as I see it. You should walk the street that I walk to.
Most European countries are democratic countries. So what I want to simply say to the European Union, you should be ashamed of yourself as Democrats, as nations that have democratic systems, to be against the only hope for democracy in the Middle East. Shame on you, seriously.
I would say that you should come to Israel and see for yourself. There is no apartheid here, because Israel is a very nice place, a place like no other on this earth. And you should come and see for yourself if there is any apartheid that you are talking about in here. Walk in our streets, eat in our restaurants. Everyone gets the same treatment.